welcome back to the deep dive. You know, when we put out the call for your Pi Network questions,
Oh, yeah.
we had no idea we'd get such a fantastic response.
It's amazing.
Clearly, there's a ton of curiosity.
Sure.
And maybe just a little bit of head-scratching about this project.
Well, it's definitely captured people's imagination.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Pi Network is doing things a little differently
Right.
than what we're used to in the crypto world, so there are bound to be questions.
Well, let's get to it. We've got questions about everything from lost passphrases to Pi's potential
Wow.
to become your go-to currency for, well, everything.
Everything.
Plus, we've got some real-world Pi miners sharing their experiences, which is always fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What I find really interesting is the range of perspectives we've received.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are excited about Pi's potential, while others are understandably cautious.
Sure.
It's important to look at all sides of the coin, so to speak.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, let's jump right into our first question. JoyFondo7859 writes, I haven't migrated, and I have created a new passphrase, but my balance is showing 0.
Ah, the elusive Pi balance. This is a question that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And it all boils down to the way Pi Network handles migrations.
Okay.
They happen in phases. So even if you've created a new passphrase, your balance might not show up until the next phase rolls around.
Oh, I see.
It's a bit like waiting for your favorite show to drop a new season. You just have to be patient.
We hear you, JoyFondo7859.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. And for anyone else wondering about how to move Pi to your available balance,
Yes.
we'll drop a link to a super helpful video in the episode description.
Perfect.
Now let's move on to Rajli86381, who asks, how to connect the new wallet to Mayet. I can't see the option anywhere.
Right.
If anybody has done it, please help me.
Connecting your wallet to the mainnet can feel a bit like navigating a maze,
Yeah.
but it's simpler than it seems.
Yeah.
All you need to do is go back to the checklist in your Pi Network mining app
Okay.
and redo step number 3. Think of it as a refresh.
Okay.
You're basically reintroducing your wallet to the mainnet.
There you go. Rajli86381, problem solved. Hopefully that clears things up.
Yeah.
Now let's address a topic
Yeah.
that popped up in quite a few of your questions.
Right.
Ab Music asks, I seriously need help. I lost my passphrase, and I've been mining for 2 years.
Oh, no. Lose it in your passphrase is definitely a heart-stopping moment.
It's like losing the keys to your crypto kingdom. Ambrose Seedward 2014 is also dealing with this. They wrote in saying,
Oh, no.
I actually mistakenly lost my passphrase. Does that mean it's all over for me as far as Pi is concerned?
The short answer is that unfortunately Pi Network cannot recover lost passphrases.
Oh, wow.
It's a decentralized system,
Right.
which means there's no master key or magic reset button.
Mm.
But don't despair. The good news is you can create a new wallet right away
Oh, okay.
and redo checklist step number 3,
Got it.
just like we mentioned before. This essentially links your new wallet to the blockchain. But let this be a lesson to everyone. Guard those passphrases like they're the crown jewels.
Seriously, folks, write them down, store them securely.
Right.
Maybe even get them tattooed on your...
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Right.
maybe not that far. But you get the idea.
For sure.
Nicole to Debbie 9219 is having some passphrase troubles of a different kind. They ask, what can someone do if the phrase is telling someone invalid passphrase?
Yes, the dreaded invalid passphrase error.
Right.
This usually happens for a few reasons.
Okay.
It could be an extra space before or after your passphrase.
Oh, I see.
So double check that. It might also be capitalization.
Okay.
Make sure all the words are lowercase.
Right.
And of course, typos happen to the best of us, so make sure you've entered it correctly.
It's all about the details. Now let's shift gears and dive into some of the observations you sent in,
Okay.
because these are really interesting. So Usman Arif 3872 brings up a point that's on many people's minds.
Right.
They write, there will be 100 billion in circulation and there's no burning mechanism.
Right.
So even after a decade, it can't reach $10.
That's a valid concern.
Yeah. And it speaks to a fundamental concept in economics, supply and demand.
Right.
A large supply of anything, whether it's pie or potatoes,
Sure.
can potentially impact its value. But it's not the whole story.
Okay.
Pie's success will depend on a lot of factors,
Mm-hmm.
like how many people are actually using it for transactions,
Right.
how the network grows,
Uh-huh.
and whether it can build a real thriving economy.
It's like just because there are billions of grains of sand on a beach doesn't mean they're all valuable, right?
Exactly.
It's the unique pearls that people seek out. Chandrasekhar Pargavachula 6766 adds another layer to this discussion,
Okay.
saying there are only 21 million bitcoins and a market cap of 1.5 T. where there can be 100B Pi network coins to reach 1.5 T cap, the price can be 15 USD.
Wow.
I don't expect Pi to be more than $1 in the future.
It's natural to compare Pi to Bitcoin, which has become the gold standard literally and figuratively in the crypto world.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that Pi is aiming for something different.
It's not trying to be a store of value like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Instead, it's trying to become a currency that people use every day.
Okay.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is like gold, a valuable asset you hold on to.
Got it.
While Pi wants to be more like the cash in your wallet,
Okay.
something you use for everyday purchases.
So it's less about hoarding and more about spending. Now that's a different approach.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to Ricardo Feeble, 7805, who's got some real-world experience to share.
Oh, great.
They say, millions of Pi. I would like to see that Pi mines so slow a person would have to use thousands of miners to get a million Pi.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Pi mining is definitely designed to be gradual,
Right.
which has raised eyebrows.
They also mentioned KYC, saying then there's the question of KYC, which is very stringent. If you had thousands of miners as bots, it'd be hard to get all of them KYC'd.
Right.
There are about 50 million miners, but only 10 million plus have been verified.
The KYC process, or Know Your Customer, is all about verifying the identities of Pi users. It's an important step for any financial network because it helps prevent fraud
Sure.
and ensures that real people are behind those accounts.
Yeah.
And yes, it can be a bit of a hurdle.
It seems like Pi Network is trying to strike a balance between accessibility and security,
Absolutely.
which is a tricky thing to do. Ricardo Feeble, 7805, goes on to share their own experience, saying, I had a team of 22 miners, which dwindled to 10, 11 with me, miners that have been KYC'd.
Wow.
Our total Pi is about 16,000 Pi, and this is for 2 years plus of mining.
That's a really interesting insight into what it actually looks like to mine Pi over an extended period.
Yeah.
It's like building a garden. It takes time, dedication,
Right.
and you might not see the fruits of your labor right away.
Sure,
but
yeah.
for those who believe in the project's long-term potential, it could be worth the wait.
It sounds like a long game for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Marquise Wisdom has to say. They offer a really interesting comparison, saying, okay, to me, I see Pi as a Bitcoin correction.
Yeah.
Whether the price will be higher than Bitcoin is what I don't know or think.
Now that's a thought-provoking statement.
They continue. The reason for Bitcoin's invention was not achieved.
Right.
Which Pi is here to achieve? It might take 10 years, but the fact that you could walk into a market and buy tomatoes with Pi is something huge.
What they're getting at is that Bitcoin, while groundbreaking,
Yeah.
hasn't quite become the everyday currency it was initially envisioned to be.
Mhm.
Pi, on the other hand, is laser-focused on making cryptocurrency easy to use
Right.
for those everyday transactions.
Like literally using Pi to buy your groceries,
Exactly.
pay your rent, or even get your morning coffee fix.
Exactly. It's a bold vision.
Yeah.
And whether it comes to fruition remains to be seen,
Sure.
but it's definitely a fascinating concept to explore.
Definitely food for thought. All right, let's hear from Sasek10PC, who brings a bit of optimism to the table. They say, guys don't sell. Trust me, if you actually want to profit, then go ahead. If you want to be financially successful, then don't. It'll become eventually one of the main coins with BTC even.
There's that enthusiasm we were talking about. It's great to see people believing in Pi's potential.
Yeah.
But as always, it's important to approach any investment with a healthy dose of caution.
Right.
Cryptocurrency is a volatile market, and no one can predict the future with absolute certainty.
It's a bit like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Exhilarating,
Yeah.
but you might want to keep your hands and feet inside the car at all times.
For sure.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our Pi Network deep dive. We've talked about lost passphrases, the ins and outs of the KYC process,
Right.
and even compared Pi to the granddaddy of crypto Bitcoin.
And we've just scratched the surface. There's so much more to discuss.
Oh, really?
From Pi's unique mining mechanism to its potential to shake up the world of finance.
I am so ready for round 2. But first, we want to hear from you. What stood out to you in this first part? What are your thoughts on Pi Network so far? Head over to the comments section and let's keep the conversation going. And while you're at it, why not hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up? It helps more people discover the show and join our awesome community.
Awesome. And if you're really digging this Pi Network discussion,
Oh, yeah?
join us over on our Telegram channel.
For sure.
We've got a lively community of deep divers who love to geek out on all things crypto,
Yes.
tech, and beyond. We'll drop the link in the episode description.
For sure. Come join the party. Now, before we get back to our listener questions, I wanted to touch on something that's been swirling around the crypto sphere.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of Pi Network as a potential game changer
Okay.
for financial inclusion. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a big question.
It is.
And it's one that's close to the heart of the Pi Network project.
Okay.
You see, traditional financial systems can be really exclusionary. Millions of people around the world lack access to basic banking services,
Right.
making it difficult to save money,
Yeah.
build credit, or participate in the global economy.
Sure.
Pi Network is trying to change that by creating a more accessible and inclusive financial system
Okay.
powered by cryptocurrency.
So it's not just about making it easy to buy tomatoes with Pi. It's about empowering people who've been left out of traditional finance.
Exactly. It's about giving people more control over their finances,
Okay.
regardless of their background or location.
Got it.
Now, whether Pi can truly achieve this ambitious goal is still up for debate.
Sure.
There are a lot of challenges to overcome,
Of course.
but the vision is certainly compelling.
It's like building a bridge to connect people to the global economy who were previously standing on the sidelines. Now let's get back to our listener questions.
Okay, sounds good.
We've got one from BTC Boy for Life who asks, why is Pi Network being given away for free? Seems like a scam.
The age-old skepticism about anything that seems too good to be true. It's understandable why people might be wary.
Sure.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Pi Network is in its early stages of development.
Okay.
They're currently focused on building a large active community
Right.
and distributing Pi to as many people as possible. This is what they call the bootstrap phase.
So they're giving away free Pi to encourage people to join the network and start using it.
Exactly. The idea is that as the network grows
Okay.
and more people start transacting with Pi,
Yeah.
it will gain value organically.
Yeah.
Think of it like the early days of the internet.
Oh,
Back then, no one really knew what the internet would become.
Right.
But early adopters saw its potential and jumped on board.
it's like planting seeds for a future forest.
Oh.
You need a lot of seeds to create a thriving ecosystem.
Okay, our next question comes from CryptoQueen22, who asks, how does the Pi Network mining app work? Is it really using my phone's resources?
That's a common concern. People hear the word mining,
Yeah.
and they immediately picture their phone overheating and draining its battery.
Oh, yeah. But Pi Network mining is very different from traditional cryptocurrency mining,
Right.
which requires massive amounts of computing power.
I see.
The Pi Network app doesn't actually use your phone's resources for complex calculations.
Okay.
Instead, it simply verifies your presence in the network at regular intervals.
So it's more about confirming that you're a real active user rather than crunching numbers.
Exactly. You can think of it as checking in with the network to say,
Uh-huh.
hey, I'm here. I'm a legitimate user. Keep those Pi coins coming.
I like it. Now let's hear what Pecurious has to say.
Yeah.
They write, I've heard that Pi Network is a pyramid scheme. Is that true?
Oh, boy. The dreaded pyramid scheme accusation.
Yeah, that's a serious claim.
It is, and it's important to address it directly.
For sure.
A pyramid scheme typically involves recruiting people into a system
Yep.
where they earn money primarily by recruiting others,
Right.
rather than through the sale of actual products or services.
I see.
Pi Network, on the other hand, doesn't
No.
require you to pay any money to join. And you don't earn Pi simply by recruiting others. You earn Pi by contributing to the network's security by verifying your presence regularly.
Got it.
You can also boost your earnings by building a security circle.
Right.
But that's optional and doesn't involve any financial investment.
So no shady money-making schemes here.
No, it's more about building a community and working together to create a viable cryptocurrency. All right, let's move on to Crypto Explore 101, who has a question about Pi's potential to disrupt traditional financial systems. They ask, can Pi Network really challenge the big banks and change the way we think about money?
Now that's a million or perhaps a trillion Pi question.
It's certainly an ambitious goal, and
Yeah.
one that's sparking a lot of debate.
Yeah.
The traditional financial system is deeply entrenched,
Sure.
with powerful institutions and complex regulations.
Of course.
But remember, technology has a way of disrupting even the most established industries. Think about what Uber and Airbnb did to the taxi and hotel industries.
That's true.
If Pi Network can gain widespread adoption and create a truly user-friendly and accessible financial ecosystem,
Yeah.
it could potentially shake things up.
It's like David going up against Goliath. But hey, we all know how that story ended.
All right.
All right, our next question comes from Pi Pioneer 88, who asks, what are the biggest risks associated with Pi Network?
That's a smart question to ask.
It is.
Every investment carries risks,
Right.
and Pi Network is no exception. One of the biggest risks is that the project simply fails to gain traction. It's still in its early stages, and there's no guarantee it will succeed in creating a widely used cryptocurrency.
Sure.
Another risk is regulatory uncertainty. Governments around the world are still figuring out how to regulate cryptocurrencies, and changes in regulations could impact Pi Network's future.
So it's important to proceed with caution and not put all your eggs in the pie basket.
Exactly. Diversification is key in any investment strategy.
Yeah.
All right, we've got time for one more question before we wrap things up. This one comes from Tech Enthusiast 55, who asks, what are the most exciting developments happening in the Pi Network ecosystem right now?
Ooh, I like this question. It's all about looking ahead to the future of Pi.
There are a lot of exciting things happening in the Pi Network world.
Awesome.
One of the biggest developments is the ongoing rollout of the Mayet network,
Okay.
which is essentially the live version of the Pi network. They're also working on developing a decentralized DApp ecosystem,
I see.
which will allow developers to create applications that run on the Pi network,
Okay.
expanding its functionality and utility.
It's like building a whole new digital world within the Pi network. Wow, we've covered a ton of ground today. We've explored the potential for Pi Network to revolutionize finance,
Yeah,
debunk some common myths,
right.
and even got a glimpse into the exciting developments on the horizon.
It's been quite the journey, and we're not done yet.
We've still got more to unpack.
Yeah.
Before we jump into part 3, we want to hear your predictions for the future of Pi Network. Do you think it has the potential to live up to its ambitious goals? Hit us up in the comments and let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. It really helps us out and allows us to keep bringing you these insightful deep dives. And if you want to keep the Pi conversation going 24/7,
Oh, yeah,
swing by our Telegram channel.
for sure.
We've got a link in the episode description. All right, ready for the final stretch of our Pi Network deep dive.
Let's do it. I'm really enjoying exploring all these different facets of the project.
Me too. Okay, let's kick off this last segment with a question from Future Millionaire 69, who asks, when will Pi be listed on exchanges? I'm ready to cash in.
Ah, the million-dollar question, literally. The truth is, no one knows for sure when or if Pi will be listed on major exchanges. The Pi Network team has been pretty tight-lipped about their exchange strategy, and they've emphasized that they're focused on building a solid foundation for the network before venturing into the sometimes wild world of crypto exchanges.
So it's a waiting game for now, patience young grasshopper. Next up, we have a question from EcoWarrior42, who asks, what is Pi Network doing to address environmental concerns? Is it an energy-efficient cryptocurrency?
That's a great question,
It is.
and one that's becoming increasingly important in the crypto space.
For sure.
As we mentioned earlier, Pi Network mining is very different from the energy-intensive mining processes used by cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
Okay.
Remember, Pi mining doesn't involve complex calculations.
Right.
It's simply a way of verifying your presence in the network, which requires minimal energy.
So it's like a little energy sip compared to the energy chug of traditional crypto mining.
Exactly. Pi Network aims to be a much more sustainable and eco-friendly cryptocurrency. Now let's see what Crypto Newbie 77 has to say. They write, I'm totally new to cryptocurrency. Is Pi Network a good place to start?
Welcome to the world of crypto. Crypto Newbie 77. It can feel a bit overwhelming at first, but it's an exciting space to explore.
I agree. And Pi Network can be a great way to dip your toes into the crypto waters.
Okay.
It's designed to be user-friendly, and the free mining aspect makes it accessible to just about anyone with a smartphone. Plus, the active community is a great resource for learning and connecting with other crypto enthusiasts.
It's like a crypto starter kit. All right, our next question comes from Blockchain Believer 99, who asks, what are the long-term goals of Pi Network? Where do they see themselves in the next 5-10 years?
The Pi Network team has a grand vision for the future.
Okay.
They want to create a world where Pi is used for everyday transactions, from buying coffee to paying rent to sending money across borders. They see Pi as a currency that's accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial background or location.
A pretty bold vision.
Yeah.
A world powered by Pi. Now let's hear from Tech Guru 21, who asks, how does Pi Network ensure security and prevent fraud?
That's a crucial question for any financial network.
For sure.
Pi Network uses a consensus algorithm called the Stellar Consensus Protocol, SCP. It's a system that allows a network of computers to agree on the validity of transactions
Mm.
without relying on a central authority. Think of it like a digital democracy where everyone gets a vote on what transactions are legitimate.
So it's a decentralized system that's designed to be tamper-proof.
Exactly. It's one of the key features that makes blockchain technology so secure. All right, let's wrap things up with the final question from CryptoCurious44, who asks, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about getting involved with Pi Network?
It's the big decision moment to Pi or not to Pi.
My advice is always the same when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Right.
Do your research, understand the risks, and never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Right.
Pi Network is an intriguing project with a lot of potential, but it's still in its early stages.
Sure.
There's no guarantee it will succeed, but if you believe in the vision and you're willing to be patient, it could be an exciting journey.
Well said. It's all about informed decision-making, folks. And that brings us to the end of our epic Pi Network deep dive. We've explored the ins and outs of this fascinating project, tackled your burning questions, and hopefully sparked some insightful conversations along the way. What were your biggest takeaways? What surprised you the most? Head over to the comments and share your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know.
And remember, the crypto world is constantly evolving.
Oh, it is.
So stay curious, stay informed, and never stop exploring.
Absolutely.
And a huge thank you to all of you for diving deep with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep on learning and keep on diving deep.